Womp. Welcome to the AnythingCast.
Womp, womp. I'm Eric.
I'm Will.
Womp, womp.
Again,
I don't know what we're doing.
No Patrick.
Yep, still no Patrick. This is the same recording session as a couple days ago, though, so he wasn't going to show up 15 minutes in between recordings, most likely.
Until suddenly.
Hey, guys.
So what were we talking about? Last time we were talking about the spectrum of like how bad you can be once you get to a certain level of fame.
Yes. There's like a point where someone gets enough like money and power, whether it's like, you know, fame or whether it's like just business success.
I think it's money. I think once you get to a certain point of money, like once you think you can buy enough time
once you think
to
you can
effectively
buy
tie up a court. Yeah, I think if you think you can buy enough publicity or buy enough time in a court, you're good, effectively. In America, at least, you're good.
Yeah, money can pay for better legal representation in America.
And just delaying it.
Yeah.
And the more you and I think effectively it's been proven, the more you delay your legal case, the better it is for you.
Well, you can bleed your opponent dry.
Yeah. I mean,
what you can do is just keep delaying it and keep mounting up legal fees and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
and people will be like, well, the government is the exception, except it's not, funnily enough. And that's been proven too.
I'm not entirely sure that the ethics behind being able to like purchase your own lawyers are okay.
I mean, okay, purchasing your own or like being able to buy your own private representative, I can understand why that's okay. You know, obviously. Obviously, you're going to want the person that you think best represents you, right?
Yeah, so why can't poor people have that?
Well, they do. The thing is...
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Well, they have the public defenders, and I understand...
Yeah,
like,
they're great.
Yeah.
Famously.
Yeah, famously. But, like, and I understand, like, the system's not good. I'm not necessarily defending the current system. What I'm saying is that I think the way you're taking it is wrong. I don't think the idea of being able to privately go to somebody else who knows the law and be able to choose for myself who I want to represent me is wrong. I do, however, think that if we're living in a capitalist society, if we're forced to live in a capitalist society, because obviously if it was my choice, you would just be able to go to a lawyer's firm and be like, hey, I need representation. Here's the reason. Mm-hmm. And then anyone in the firm who had a law license would be able to go, okay, I'm here to help you. Mm-hmm. And it would be nothing.
Right.
But obviously that's not how it works. So within the system we work in, I think that being able to go and buy your own private representation is something that you should be able to do. But I think that if you cannot afford representation, if you cannot go out and afford representation, you should be... the state should give you somebody to represent you. Yeah,
the problem with that, even though I think that part is good kind of like in general, that the second part, that the state provides you with one if you can't afford it, I feel like there's a fundamental problem inherent in the system that there is an aspect to where you can afford a better legal representation. Like, so I make more money so I can get away with more shit by hiring someone who's a better spin doctor than the guy who makes a flat fee for the government. You know, like, the guy who makes a flat fee for the government isn't, like, he is not, what's the word? He's not incentivized to, like, you know, really help you per se. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure plenty of them do actually do their best. The difference is someone who runs like a multi-million-dollar law firm for rich people, you're not hiring a lawyer, you know, which is what you get when you get the fucking, you know, the state representative. That guy is a guy that they hire who has a law license, who accepts that job. And you basically accept that job. You don't like apply for it per se. I mean, I guess you apply for it, but like any other lawyer job would be basically better than that job. You know, you're basically just paying your dues at the bottom rung by being a state representative. State prosecutor? A little bit better. State defense attorney? you're basically accepting that, like, the majority of the people that you're defending are one way or another guilty of the crime, and you're just going to be trying to figure out how to get them the lowest sentence.
Well, in fairness to the idea of justice, law, and stuff like that, even the worst, even Hitler, if we had somehow captured Hitler alive and had him on trial and all that stuff, even Hitler deserves the best representation that he can be given. Now, not necessarily bought. I think
sure. So, like, let's say that.
But if you're a defense lawyer, in my opinion, if you're a defense lawyer, there shouldn't be an opinion of you're a criminal, I shouldn't help you. It should be like, I'm just going to give you the best defense I can.
Let's hold that thought for 1 second here. Let's say that right before the United States gets involved in World War II, we take Adolf Hitler to trial in an American court, and he shows up.
Okay.
Do you think that the lawyers he's going to have there for that trial are going to be the same lawyers that he makes for a trial in 1945, considering he did not commit suicide?
Obviously not.
Yeah. So what we're saying is, in one scenario, the rich and powerful will obviously get away with 10 times more because they're able to afford better lawyers than your average citizen. So if you have money in this world, in this realistic system that we work in the way that it works, because you are able to hire multi-million-dollar law firms, by being rich enough, you are able to get away with more crime. That is basically the system that we work in, and there is no functional answer that doesn't involve that being true. I mean, is there not?
You're right. And I agree. The system is broken.
I was about to say, like, please give me a good reason why that's not true, because it's a very depressing thing.
You're absolutely right. And I agree. The system is broken. It needs to be changed. And
like, I like a lot
but
about our court system.
I think if we have to be in this system, I think that is the best thing we can do.
I like okay, I think I know where you're coming from this, because it's kind of the point I was about to make.
Because the only way I can answer this question is we should have a revolution and then reform the system.
Yeah, but that's like,
But obviously you're gonna roll your eyes and go.
Well, that's like a cop-out answer. That's basically saying throw it out and rebuild the whole thing, which is also what I would say.
But that is the only answer.
Like, that's what I would say too. Like, it's just like, I get it. Like, I do get it, but we both also understand that that's an unrealistic answer. Like, it's both a realistic answer, because how the fuck do you fix something so broken?
Right.
And also an unrealistic answer, because systems are ingrained in society, and completely throwing them out has consequences you and me are not prepared to deal with. Like that, completely throwing out a system, especially the justice system, is not something you want to upheave in one turn.
Something I've been reading about today is the Indian peace movement that happened in the 1920s or to the 40s.
Are you using the PC Indian definition?
No, like the India Indian.
Okay. I was about to say, we're not referring to Native Americans.
The Gandhi one.
Gotcha. Dot's not. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry. Dot's not feathers. That's it.
There you go. That's the way.
Yeah, dot's not feathers.
Because it's like, aho is the Native American thing, right?
How?
That's the stereotypical thing.
Okay, I don't actually know any Native American languages. There's more than one.
Yeah, there is more than one.
There's actually several. Do you mean the Algonquin Native groups? Or
I don't know,
like,
man.
You talk about the Chickasaw, the Cherokee, the Choctaw?
I don't know. I thought I was going to make a good joke, to be honest with you, but then you started breaking it down, and now it's not going to be a good joke at all. So, really, you've ruined this whole thing. So
I sucked the comedy out of it. Like,
yeah. So, audience, blame him. This is a failure. This is an abortion of a joke. We're aborting it 12 months.
Well, now we're talking about abortion jokes, which, by definition, have no delivery.
Hey, you want to know a fun fact?
I love fun facts, but if it isn't fun, I'll kill you.
The Naboo celebration theme.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember it?
I don't really remember what it
kind of
sounds
goes
like.
wah ha ha, wah wah, ba ba ba. No, that's wrong. Hold on. Yeah, no, da da da. No, that is wrong.
Patrick, please insert a copyright safe clip of the Gungan celebration theme from
thanks.
the movie.
Anyways, so and that and the Darth Sidious theme are the exact same, actually.
Oh,
so
they just like speed it up or slow it down.
yeah,
or something?
so I'll tell you what they do. So the Darth Sidious theme is a men's choir that is slowed down. Obviously, it came first, and it's in like a different major or something like that. I don't know what it is. I'm not like a music guy. Patrick could tell us if he was here.
If you'll recall, I am here, and the Darth Sidious theme is in a minor key, and that song is in a major key. Therefore, it sounds happier.
So the men's baritone to the boys' tenor, gives it a more airy feel.
Tenor.
Yeah. Gives it a more airy, celebratory feel, while the men's baritone gives it like a evil, like I'm in a dungeon-y feel.
Yeah, grown men can easily hit a bass or a baritone better, whereas, young men tend to stay in a tenor.
And what's fun about it, I think, in my mind, is when you're watching the end of A Phantom Menace, and you're happy because you're high off your ass, and Anakin just blew up that big ass.
In my case,
donut.
I'm like 11.
Yeah, Anakin just blew up the big ass.
He blew up the
donut
droid
ship.
Death Star. The droid control center thing.
Obi-Wan finished the fight.
He killed the devil man with extra
yeah, the
horns.
devil guy, and
killed.
I don't remember what Padme did, to be honest. Did she do anything?
She used a body double to fake everyone out, and turned out to be a pretty grounded badass.
I think she captured Newt
competition.
Gingrich. So she captured Newt Gingrich.
Yeah, she captured the enemy leader.
Yeah,
which was pretty based.
There you go.
Pretty based.
There you go. She does stuff.
As a world leader, I expect my world leaders to whip out a pistol and assault their competition. I think that's pretty based.
We should go back to original Roman fighting tactics.
No, not like their political competition, like as in the person in the election against them. I mean, like, if like
before the Marian reforms.
If like the sitting president like pistol whipped Kim Jong-un, I would think that was pretty based.
All right, what do you like cleaning more, cat poo or dog poo?
I'm actually pretty ambivalent. They're the same to me. I will say that cats in a shelter or boarding environment tend to be easier to clean up after because they tend to poo in their litter boxes.
Right.
Whereas if the dog doesn't care too much, he might poo everywhere and then spread it everywhere. Cats are a little less likely to do that. Some still do. And God forbid they have a tummy ache. Then they might spray it wherever. But most of the time, cats are a little cleaner than dogs. So cats are a little easier, but I don't really care one way or the other.
I kind of flip-flop on this. Because with a dog, you don't have to do it very much. At least, like, as far as I'm concerned. You only have to do it if you're, like, in a park or, like, in a residential neighborhood. Something like that, have a dog poo bag.
Yeah, here in Mississippi, I mean, if you've just got a yard dog with a fence, you're done.
You're done.
You don't have to scoop at all.
You're good.
Yeah.
But if that's not, but I don't like picking it up if they happen to poo in the house. I just don't enjoy cleaning up after a waste of mess.
I don't either. It's just I've been doing it so long professionally that when my dogs do it at home,
it's just like whatever.
Yeah, it completely. Yeah, it's a non-issue to me.
It's so gross to me. It's like really gross to me.
I don't enjoy it. I derive no joy from it whatsoever.
Right.
It's just like.
But I'm not ambivalent.
Well, I'm not gonna leave it there.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not ambivalent though. I'm really grossed out by it.
I am in the process of. I have actually removed half the carpet from my other room. I'm just like. I'm a 4-dog person, and I'm going to be honest with myself. That means I'm not a carpet person.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're not a carpet person.
I can't keep up with that shit.
Sure can't.
So if you look at my bedroom right now, you'll see concrete on the floor because I removed all of the exposed concrete with scissors, a knife, and some determination last weekend.
That's some strong scissors.
Because I was like, nope. I was like, I'm done with this. Like, it's not worth the trouble. And quite frankly, I can sweep and mop concrete.
The thing I don't like about cleaning cat poo, the convenience of the litter box is nice.
Yes.
Carrying the litter box to the area to throw the poo is the worst part.
I just take a small garbage can with me to the litter box and then scoop it right there without ever moving the litter box myself. But that's my personal thing.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Everyone's setup is different.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I think I found the setup that'll work for me.
Hey, whatever works for
Because
you. Sounds like you don't like it, though.
I found a... Well, I don't like the process of picking up the litter box, going over to like the ditch on the far side, and then and then the smell being right there next to my nose.
Maybe if you took a small garbage can with a garbage bag to the litter box
Looks
and then
here,
scooped it out.
You fair-faced motherfucker. I'm just trying to tell you, I don't like the smell when I'm carrying it to the other side of the ditch. And the issue that the solution I have come up with is at Walmart today. I found a shift box thing. It's a shift litter box thing.
Yeah.
Where you can like shift all the hard pieces out, right?
Yeah.
So another part is like I don't like how heavy they are a lot of the time. They're just really heavy.
Depends on how much litter you put in there, but yeah.
I
tend to put more in.
Yeah, I got like a big cat, so I gotta have like a big box. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all good.
Anyways, I think having this shifter is gonna help a lot
Mm-hmm.
because obviously I'm gonna be able to shift it and get all the poop, and
So,
it'll be
like,
easy.
It's like a cat litter box, but it has like 2 layers, and one's like a sieve.
Yeah,
Okay.
one
so,
is the scooper.
Okay, so like then all you gotta do is like pull part of it out, and it just scoops everything automatically.
Pretty
as soon as
much,
you pull
yeah.
it out. Okay, that part makes sense to me. My question is, how then, after dumping all of the pee clumps and the poo, do you get it back in the litter box?
Oh, actually, I do know the answer to this. There are.
So wait, do you have this thing? Is this not
Yes.
something you've had to figure out yet?
Well, no, but I know the answer to this now.
Okay.
There are 3 layers that come with this thing.
Okay.
The shifter and then 2
2
black
bottom
boxes.
layers,
Yeah.
and then you can switch out
You
one
would
for
s-
the other.
You would switch out one for
Every
the
time.
other.
Okay, I figured you'd need a secondary basin to pour the clean litter into,
Yeah.
and then you'd have to put the sieve
glad you
back
brought-
into the basin.
I'm
and then
happy
pour
you
it
brought
back
this
in.
up because that would have been a moment.
That
for
was
me.
bothering me because I was just like, okay, it's like that makes sense with like double pasta boilers. Because when you pull the sieve out, like the pasta comes out with it, and then who gives a fuck about the rest? You're not going to reuse the water for anything.
Yeah.
But with kitty litter, the whole point of scooping it instead of dumping the whole thing is that you're going to use the other litter, and then you can't just force the sieve back down over the litter. So you got to pour it back over the top of the little the sieve. That doesn't.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
so
that
you
was,
need a second container.
That
so,
was.
So basically, they get around this by there being 2 litter box, like stacked into each other,
Yes.
and then you just switch them each time,
Yeah. That would be
and they're
how
just stackable.
they're getting around this.
That would make sense
Yeah.
to me.
It does.
Do you
make
know
sense.
for a fact that's what they do?
There's 3 layers.
There are 3 layers. Is
Yeah.
that what they do, though?
Yeah. Like, what do you mean?
I mean, do you know? Did you buy this
What-
product?
Yes, I bought this.
Okay, I was wondering. Like, I was still confused.
Yeah, I got it.
didn't know
I
if
got
you'd
it at
actually gotten
Walmart
it or
today.
not.
Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering. 'Cause I didn't know if you were assuming that or not. Like, was this speculation? Like, because some of these products are bad, and there's one on Amazon right now that'll straight kill your cat.
Whoa.
It's like one of those self-cleaning things,
Yeah.
but the sensor's a little fucky on it, which isn't that weird for the self-cleaning litter boxes. The trick is it has like a revolving door kind of setup, and if your cat's in it, it'll pin them to the roof or the base
Oh.
as it's sitting in there. And there's been people who've put like items in it to see like how powerful it is, and it's like broken a surprising amount. It has a surprising amount of force to it.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, and so watch out self-cleaning litter boxes that you buy online. Check out some reviews real quick. 'cause
Yeah, definitely check out reviews.
there's especially one just recently that has killed a few cats, so watch out for that.
Do not be the vanguard of tech. That is my saying.
Yeah, let the tech bros suffer so that we can reap the benefits of GPS later. Let them run
Yes.
off bridges yesterday so that tomorrow we can use our cell phones to get to like a party 3 states over.
Yes.
That's
I had a Krabby Patty today from Wendy's.
impossible.
No, it's not. It's at Wendy's.
It's not a real crab.
It is a real Krabby Patty. It had 3 pickles and everything. I checked.
It's not possible.
It is possible. I had it.
No.
It is. I had a Krabby Patty with a pineapple slushy. What do they call it? Frosty. Pineapple.
That sounds
Frosty.
disgusting.
It was not good. I didn't like the pineapple frosty,
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
but I did like the Krabby Patty. And what's cool,
I imagine it's a fucking hamburger.
the cool thing about the Krabby Patty
Okay.
is it did indeed have 3 pickles, which was important.
Okay.
It had lettuce. Would have had tomato, but I left that off.
Fair. Not a big fan of tomato on my hamburgers either.
The sauce, I don't know what the sauce was, but it was like a tangy sweet sauce that like made you feel. Do you know the feeling of when you're like, I just know in my heart of hearts, soul of souls, that this is about to be spicy?
I guess.
You know that feeling?
Something that has a delayed spicy thing going.
Yeah, it has that feeling,
Okay.
but it's never spicy. It's always sweet
Huh.
and tangy. But that feeling is there. And it works for some reason. It works really well.
Well, I mix some barbecue sauce and some sweet pepper sauce together with just a pinch of like Tapatio hot sauce. And I use it both as like a fried wing sauce
Mhm.
and a barbecue sauce for like grilling chicken with. And it worked for both of those. And even though I add hot sauce to it, it gives you just that little hint of heat. It never really gives you the spiciness. It's just there to give it that hint, So maybe they're doing something similar to what I'm doing with that.
It could be.
That being said, though, you're still wrong. Because Mr. Krabs has never released the secret formula.
They fucking did with Wendy's, you goddamn troglodyte. How many goddamn times do I have to tell you this?
I will have to hear it from the lips /
Motherfucker, I will
mandibles
show
of
you a
Mr. Krabs
goddamn.
himself.
If I pull up an ad for Mother
I don't care
Patrick,
what
play the
Wendy
clip.
says. I want to hear Mr. Krabs say that he shared the secret formula with another company, which I refuse to believe. I do not believe that Mr. Krabs would ever allow his formula to be used by a competitor. It's just not. It breaks canon. I mean,
What
let's
if
be
that
honest.
competitor offered him more money than he'd ever seen in his entire life?
Not for me, secret formula.
I don't know.
Because that's his moneymaker.
Yeah, you know what else is his moneymaker?
SpongeBob?
Fucking,
Yeah, you guys said this to Patrick, right? Like, I see you scrolling through here trying to get, like, SpongeBob Wendy's stuff here.
yeah, it's all SpongeBob doing it, though. It's not like Mr. Krabs.
I didn't think it would be.
Maybe they knocked Mr. Krabs out and, like, stole it. Maybe Wendy stole it.
I just see a picture of a hamburger that just says, be gay. What is your feed?
Burger King responded, be gay. Okay.
Is that one of those people who just hate woke culture?
Probably.
Or is that
It's probably
like,
a grift.
okay.
More than likely a grift. Okay, doesn't look like there's a commercial with Mr. Krabs doing it.
So that's okay. We can segue to a new topic because I was only half kidding last episode when I said that we'd be discussing woke culture because I had a real question.
Oh, okay.
And I think that you're a good person to ask this question to because I find you to be a reasonable human being that I know, but I also know that you hold some political beliefs that are on some of the opposite ends of where I believe.
Okay.
So this is a good question between two people who can have a reasonable discussion. Is the woke mind virus real? Yes, no, or yes and no?
So by woke mind virus, are you specifically talking about like SJW people? Or are you talking about the entire
not clear, is
culture
it now?
war
I
thing
mean, like
in
the
general?
culture war shit kind of like makes the whole thing.
Because if you're asking if people believe in woke ideas, is that real? Yes. Are there secret cabals of leftists getting together and planning these woke events?
Is the whole government
No.
gay now?
Yeah, no, that's probably not real.
Is all of Hollywood trans?
No, what you're noticing there is societal evolution. But
Yeah, what it is that society just stopped caring about these things to a large degree.
yeah,
Like since
basically.
they stopped becoming problems, Hollywood and
Well-
businesses realized they could pander
Well, it's
to
almost
these
like
groups.
humans are animals, and what is the best way to get an animal to like something?
Feed it.
To get it used to it.
Oh yeah, desensitization.
Yes.
Yeah.
So once we got past the moral panic, essentially, again,
Right. Once most people stopped caring if people rubbed penises or vaginas together,
yeah.
which
In fact, can we just say, in the course of human history, is a weird little uptick, I think, in like worldwide being gay not okay.
I think actually
Because
like-
if you look at human history, there is like in my mind when I'm reviewing my knowledge of history, there's only a small frame in history that I can think of where it's like it's not okay to be gay anywhere in the world right now.
I mean, I think the reason why there's a trend towards being gay not being okay is just because living used to be harder, like on a grander scale,
Yes.
and thus shit like reproduction was more vital to like everyday life.
And sure,
You know,
but that wasn't the argument a lot of the time.
like you go back far enough and it's just like if I don't have 16 children, then no one will be alive to support me when I'm dying of old age at 40. You
Right.
know, like
But that never was really the argument that was used, at least in my experience.
no, not any of the ones I've ever heard.
The
no.
arguments always used in my experience was that's a goddamn sin.
Well, we did grow up in the religious South, so.
Oh, and while like as someone who understands the streamline of history, this the societal evolution of things, right? I understand how religion and the way religion excuses things, I guess, is the reflection of that. Basically, is God. What am I trying to say? I don't even know anymore.
Yep.
I'm too high. I've reached the 7th stage.
So, at what point does religion and woke coincide to a point where either being woke is bad or being woke is anti-religious?
So where do they coincide? Where
Where did the intersection happen?
where does the intersection happen?
Where did being like,
What,
you know,
are you asking? When does woke become a religion?
Well, like, no. Like, okay, so like with Christianity, for instance, let's go with a very familiar setup here because we both grew up in the religious South and Protestant Christianity is the prominent religion here, yes?
Yeah.
And that's what we're both most familiar with, I would imagine, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the biggest tenets of Protestant Christianity, at least in, the written rules, is Christ. Jesus.
Just Christ.
I mean,
But yeah,
Jesus
sure.
Christ.
Yeah, biggest tenet is believe in Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. Jesus's number one thing was being open-minded and accepting of everyone and being like super cool with everyone and being helpful and being like a good example and being like, you should follow my way because my way makes life better and like, will make you happier, will make me happier, and will make us all happier because everyone's going to have a better time and we're going to support each other, and we're going to be good neighbors, and I'm going to wash the feet of this whore, because I don't see any difference between this human and another human, even though we're not supposed to have women at the table, or
Right.
whatever. He was that kind of transgressive, where he was just like, no, we're all the same, and those of us who are the worst off deserve the most attention. And that's just not the attitude
No.
down here. Like, you would think that being like the tenets of it, that it would like lend itself to a more liberal society,
Right.
to a certain degree, but it doesn't. And like, where did that line get crossed? Because
well, I think
when
that
Christians were first like spreading from the Middle East to like Rome and stuff, half the reason they spread so fast and so efficiently was because they were more Christ-like.
Oh, okay. I see.
They
what
would
you're
come
saying.
in being like super nice. And now the big thing about being Christian is being like anti-woke. And it's just like, is it woke?
Christians aren't going to
Christian?
like this answer, but at the moment it happened was the moment Constantine converted to Christianity, or when Constantine made Christianity the state religion in Rome.
Oh, that's like Constantine arguably never really converted.
Well, he did on his deathbed, but
he did for political reasons and probably didn't
but
believe a
that's
dick all
but that's the
about
thing
it.
is the moment Constantine used Christianity for political reasons, to submit his rule over Rome.
Mm-hmm.
Was the moment Christianity crossed the line to being, I don't know what the word would be.
Well, having watched the overly sarcastic productions set up in this little degree of history, I
Go
would
ahead.
say it definitely started a little bit before them, but that's definitely the right time period.
Go ahead.
Because that was around the time we had like the Arian heresies and stuff like that. And we had that whole massive, violent debate over, the nature of the Trinity, where everyone was like, totally willing to excommunicate and or kill like anyone who was a little confused. Just like, it's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
You're
just
right.
like, what if Jesus is half divine and like half God? No, 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 no. Like,
Well,
and they start getting
personally,
really mad about it.
I would say now that I don't think I'm no longer now that I'm no longer religious or spiritual. And now that I kind of have a more secular view of the Bible and its first century religion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's broken from the word go. If you look into it, like when you don't hold it to the reverence of this is God's word, it's broken from the beginning.
Honestly, I like the more practical early Christians.
Some
I
of the
like
stuff's
Christ.
practical, sure.
Like Christ sounds like a really cool dude.
If he existed,
especially in context. Like, because at the time, like that was like the chillest dude.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
Like-
you're a Bronze Age dude just being like, nah, everyone's cool.
Yeah. Like that guy was on it.
Or I guess Iron Age dude. Because technically
it was
Romans were Iron Age.
Yeah, Bronze Age was actually like
The first century.
1500s
It'd be
of
the
the
it'd be the
BC.
Jews instead of the Old Testament.
Yeah, like the Iron Age starts in
Exodus.
like the 400s BC. It's like we figured that out a long time ago. But anyway, people get confused as that because like Greek myths cover like a really long span of time, and part of that is in the Bronze Age, and Egypt exists in like the Bronze and Iron Ages, so it confuses people even more.
Egypt exists today. Egypt be existing.
Yeah.
Now,
The
its
pyramids
heyday was
ain't
the
moved
Bronze.
yet.
You know what the fucking must suck about to Egypt, essentially? Like, if Egypt could be as a whole a person, you know what must suck the most about it? Is that its heyday, it's basically the country that peaked in high school. Its heyday was the Bronze Age. It has never seen a good time since then.
Yeah, it's been a very slow descent downhill ever since then.
It is the country that peaked in high school.
It's like they're still doing okay nowadays.
They're
but
better
like
now than they were.
nobody talks about them anymore.
Yeah.
It's like they had like a bit of a come apart a few years ago, something about Facebook. And I like that, the Facebook rebellion in Egypt. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't know about anything about that.
Yeah, no, they had a whole rebellion in the early 2010s that happened mostly over Facebook, and the Facebook rebellion won.
Oh.
Yeah, because they were the modern people who were able to organize and communicate better. And they even tried cutting off internet, like the standing regime tried cutting off internet to the whole country.
Oh, I seem to
But
recall that
it was too
happening.
little too late, and everybody
Oh.
already had the dates and shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that happened. They're still not great.
Yeah.
Let's be
it's
honest, like
better.
the new government's not great either.
But it's better.
But it's a little better. And I'm sure some shit went back to the way it was after the initial excitement died down because, you know, every time a new president comes in, everyone's like, everything's gonna change.
Yeah.
And then like some prices slightly change on some things.
Speaking of change,
You know.
the New York Jets fired their coach this week. Like today,
Interesting.
in fact, at lunch.
Now the Jets, they play the sports ball?
Yeah, they play football.
Football. Gotcha.
Yeah, American
Yeah.
football.
They're in state of Soda.
They are in New York.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
And
Yeah, the
they
New
are
York
they
Jets
have green
football.
jerseys, green and white. I want to say are their colors.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback at the moment.
Gotcha. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah.
What's
Sorry,
crazy
go on.
about this
I was like, get to the
is
point.
that it is mid-season.
Okay, so they fired their coach mid-season. That's something I can understand. They
They haven't said why. So we have no idea what could have caused.
So surely it's nothing sexual.
Well, maybe
Who's ever heard of a coach doing sexual misconduct of any kind?
What,
barring my ex-girlfriend's high school coaches who went through that. There were 5 gym coaches between her freshman and senior year.
Ooh.
They all had sex with students.
Ooh, man.
I think the 5th one did too. She just didn't get fired while she was there.
Fellas, keep it in your pants.
I just think that, like, damn, at what point do you be like,
Guys-
maybe we should raise our standards for high school gym coach person? Jesus Christ.
Okay, so to the other 93 fellas, the other 93% of fellas,
That was like 05 to like 08, by the way, somewhere in
if
that
you get a
vicinity.
job in a high school,
Possibly 06 to 09.
it is so simple. It's so easy to just keep it in your pants.
Don't fuck the teenagers.
Like, you got teachers there.
Don't fuck the teachers either, actually. That's actually not a super good plan.
You shouldn't shit where you eat, but it's not it's not
legal.
morally wrong.
It's legal to fuck the teachers. Not at the high school.
No, not at the high school. Go on a date, have a nice time. Go to the park, fuck there.
No, don't take that advice either. Do not fuck at the park. The park is not a place for you to fuck. That's
Right.
a place
Okay. Go to the
people to go and not see naked bodies slapping against each
fine.
other.
Go to a date. Go have a nice time at a bar. Go dance a little bit,
And then go somewhere private.
and go to a beach.
Jesus Christ. What? Why is everywhere you have sex somewhere that other people can see you? Do you have a fetish to admit to here, Will? What is wrong
Okay,
with
fine,
an apartment
Fine.
or a bedroom
Nothing.
or
Okay,
a
look.
hotel?
Oh, fine. You take.
Why do you hate doors, Will? The whole thing is what happens behind closed doors is none of my business. If you do it in the park while I'm pushing my children on the swings, I don't care if it's gay.
Presumably,
You shouldn't be doing it in the park.
presumably, you would be there at night. I assume after a date. But anyways, to go to a
Still
date,
not-
go to an
still
amusement
not
park.
ethical.
Get out. Go to a cemetery. Fuck there.
Stop suggesting public places.
How is a cemetery bad? No one's there. It's just dead people.
Why are you fucking on the graves of dead people? What is wrong with
Why, you don't think
beds?
that's hot?
No!
Why?
I have dead relatives!
So do I.
Stop fucking on your dead relatives' graves, Will!
I'm not fucking on
You're
somebody
Native
else's
American.
dead
This is
relative's
more of a problem for
grave.
you than it is me!
I'm not fucking on my dead relative's graves. I'm fucking on somebody else's. I'm fucking on your dead relative's graves.
Stop it! That's disrespectful! Go to a bed! Buy a van! There are ways to have sex without people being able to readily see you, Will. Why is every example somewhere everyone else
Go
is
to a
allowed
water
to go?
park. Get on a boat. Go on a lake. Fuck there.
Okay, anywhere that isn't open air Is there anywhere you know of that you can fuck that isn't an
Yeah.
open air
Get a
area?
plane ticket. Go to the bathroom. Fuck there. It's an enclosed, pressurized cabin, not open air at all.
Not supposed to be occupied by two people. It is a public restroom. Just because it's a single person restroom doesn't mean it is a private area.
It's a private cabin.
It's private for a single person taking a piss or a shit. It's not there for fucking.
Do you think? How do they do plane plumbing? Do you think?
It depends. I know that some, if not, I don't really know. I know some planes.
You stuttered on this question a little bit.
Well, because I know that some planes, like people have gotten hit by like frozen chunks of piss falling out of planes before, and like died.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. There's a whole running gag in Joe Dirt where he finds a meteorite and like hauls it around in a little red wagon. And he's even like eating French fries off of it. And he brings it to a scientist.
and he's like,
And he's just like, this is a ball of frozen poop from an airplane. It has no scientific value whatsoever. And then like the guy behind him's like, you were eating off of that earlier today. Like,
you'd think it would unfreeze after a while, wouldn't you?
I mean, it might have gotten dehydrated as it hurtled through the sky or something. And it kind of
Flash
like
frozen.
became like a solid, like, you know, mass. I don't know. Also, it was a movie. I don't think it needed to be like overthought. But yeah, it probably would have melted after a minute, I would imagine. But
Why don't hurricanes cause tornadoes?
they do.
They do?
Yeah, all the time. Constantly.
Oh, okay. Why don't we talk about it?
Because when there's a hurricane, you're not super surprised by wind. It's not a
Hurricanes,
surprising
When
development.
you look at hurricanes, they are just really big tornadoes, aren't they?
I mean, no, but also yes. Like, I mean, like hurricanes cause tornadoes
because we had
all
to come
the
up with a
time.
whole new word for it. But yes, in that, yes.
It's like, yeah, basically, I mean, you know, there's a reason why there's the word hill and the word mountain. But yes, no, they are functionally a similar thing. There is no eye of a tornado. I mean, there is, but also
But you
there
shouldn't be
isn't.
in it.
Yeah, if you're in it, it's not the same as being in the eye of a hurricane.
Hurricane's big enough to where the wind's not sucking all the air out.
Yeah, if you're in the eye of a tornado, you're just being pulled apart limb from limb or something.
Oh, really?
Like I don't know. It depends on how big the tornado
I
is.
assume you're just like,
As a human being, your
You
biggest
can't.
problem isn't the wind itself.
well, as a human being, there's
It's-
no way you can be in the eye of a tornado, just naturally speaking.
It would have to be a huge tornado.
You'd have to be tied to a radiator.
like for you to stand in the eye of a tornado.
Like you'd have to be
it would have to be a
standing there,
massive tornado,
and then God would have to snap his fingers, and the tornado would be around you, and
Yeah.
then it'd go from there.
like it's basically impossible.
It
This
is.
is why people basically. That's why science just says there is no eye of a tornado.
And this is why Twister sucks.
no Twister's great.
No,
Actually, I heard the sequel's actually not bad either.
I've heard the sequel's not bad. The first movie is not good. Let's not give it accolades it doesn't
No.
deserve. No, it is not a good.
When did you watch
movie.
it last?
Yeah, when I was a child.
I watched it like 2 months ago. My wife was watching it because it was an old movie she liked, and I just sat
You're
down.
just putting feelings of watching a movie with your wife onto an objectively mediocre movie.
No, I would have just checked out otherwise, but I was just like, oh yeah, that actually was all right. It's got like Bill Paxton in it. It's actually pretty good. It's super succinct. Not much happens in the movie.
Yeah.
And what happens is super straightforward. And then there's a light subplot about somebody with their girlfriend who ends up getting back together with their ex-wife.
It's the main guy, I think, right?
Yeah.
And
And that's it, man. Like, honestly, the plot's really straightforward.
well, I mean,
it's,
even the cool moment.
It's a disaster movie that has a feel-good ending.
That's the movie where the hurricane comes through like a barn, right?
Tornado.
Tornado.
That's the one where they drive through a barn as they're leaving a tornado. That's the one where the cow gets the tornado splits into two as they're going across a bridge, and a cow flies past them. And there's like, well, that's a cow. And then a second layer, like, as they're talking, trying to move through, just like, it's another cow. Then someone goes, no, that's the same cow. Because it got tossed from one tornado to the next.
Damn.
But yeah, that's a good movie. It's not that bad.
all right.
Now you're just that sounds pretty funny.
I won't besmirch Twister anymore then.
Walk that back. It's been a while. You were a kid when you saw it.
I'll walk it back. I'll watch it again. We'll see what we think.
I mean, it's like a 90s disaster movie, and it's a really
I don't remember liking it, but we'll see.
It's a grounded movie. There's not a lot going on in it. It's got a super straightforward plot about some storm chasers. And they're able to put a new tracking technique into a tornado so that they're able to study it better. A guy gets back together with his ex-wife.
Why don't we shoot GPSs into tornadoes?
We do.
We do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the plot of Twister.
Oh. Speaking of natural disasters, Hurricane Milton is hitting Florida and probably is currently hitting Florida as we speak.
Oh, yeah, which... You know, in and of itself, getting hit with a hurricane sucks.
And by the time you're listening to this episode,
did they not just get hit with a hurricane 2 fucking weeks ago?
They did.
God damn.
By the time you're listening to this, it might be over. I don't know. I don't know how long hurricanes
if there's a
last.
God, it's over.
Yeah.
The disaster relief might not be, and
how long
God
do
bless
hurricanes
all
last?
of you. But what?
How long do hurricanes last?
Ugh, it depends.
Ugh.
I mean, once they hit landfall, they start to dissipate, but again,
dude,
it
Milton
depends.
looks freaky.
Well, also, I wonder, I don't know all the science behind it, but I wonder if like a big ass peninsula like Florida, I wonder if if a hurricane can like hit one side of it, skip over land, like drop to like.
Oh, I don't know if you saw, but the area to where they said you don't need to be in, like you need to be evacuated.
It's like the whole East Coast.
Well, yes, and also for Florida, it looks just like you described, where like Miami, that little tiny spot where Miami is completely clear. The strip between that and like Baker, I think, or like a little bit north, the north like Panhandle, is also clear. That whole middle area between that is just red. Don't be in this area. But yeah, Milton does look like it's just hitting the entire East Coast, doesn't it?
Oh, it's just gonna eat them up.
Yeah.
Like. God, and like
the people in North Carolina already just got fucked up by one.
Yeah, I was about to say, people in the fucking Carolinas were having flooding, which sounds wrong because they're too far inland, but apparently this has happened before. And also, the reason why it was so bad a couple weeks ago is because all we were thinking about, like, nationwide was the hurricane. What we hadn't been thinking about was over the last 2 weeks, that entire area has been under heavy rainfall.
Oof.
So they were soaked from head to toe. All their rivers and lakes were right at the peak. They were slightly over all the edges. And
then the hurricane hit.
The hurricane ran through.
Ooh.
That's why it looks so fucked up. Because none of that shit's because they're so far inland.
Yeah.
They're not set up for that.
No. Well, and that's going to get worse too.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, the more inland you are, get ready for hurricanes, baby.
Yeah. We're barely lucky since we're near the north end of Mississippi.
Yeah, we get the lightest bits of the hurricane.
We're going to get, like, bad weather.
Yeah.
And, like, we have gotten, like, tornado force winds.
When Katrina came through, it was probably the worst it ever got.
I think there was one more recently that actually had some more serious setups for us up here.
Oh, okay.
Just for us up here, mind you. You know, obviously didn't top Katrina, but which for you youngerns, Katrina is the one that basically flattened all of southern Louisiana and Mississippi in like 2005.
Yeah.
That's the one everyone got mad at Bush and FEMA for, if you're fans of history.
Apparently they're mad at FEMA right now in the Carolinas. Yeah. But like, and in Florida. Basically, they're mad at FEMA from the last hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
But also Congress is on break and they're not going to vote in any more FEMA funding until the election's over. So, and McConnell already said he's not going to call them back to do it because they already voted in the amount of FEMA funding for the year.
The evil tortoise of the U.S. government, Mitch McConnell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently they're trying to spin it. They're blaming Kamala for some reason. Like she has the power to just do things.
Yeah, it's definitely the standing vice president's fault that FEMA's not reacting quickly enough.
I mean, they are. The thing about FEMA is, the thing about disaster recovery is it takes some fucking time. We're not teleporting things.
Also, another thing, my wife, who's been part of disaster relief before,
it takes a lot of time.
It gets complicated because, people want to like donate and stuff and like, give food rations and all this shit. And people are just like, what the fuck? We gave 10,000 pounds worth of food. Well, did you give 10,000 pounds worth of volunteers? Because there's no one down there to move that. And now the people who are hired to do that have to run warehouses of more stuff than they can get there with the limited amount of people and resources that they have to actually get there.
Yeah.
Like, it's complicated.
Yeah, the shit gets complicated logistically.
Like,
and
you gotta eat like people really muddy.
Yeah, and then you have people like Elon Musk out here like saying like that the Department of Transportation is like keeping private planes and stuff out of the airspaces to keep them from getting
No, they're to keep them
supplies
from running into the fucking emergency
exactly.
planes.
It's like, no, you dupe shit. That's from keeping you guys
You can't just let random people
from
constantly
hitting the
run
National
over that
Guard
way.
helicopters who were like searching for people, and like hitting the planes who are landing supplies.
I get the frustration. Like, the frustration is real. It makes sense. It's just like, you're not getting the resources out there right now. Let us do it, And that's a real frustration. But it's not just the bureaucracy. There's also like a real part to it.
There's the reality of it.
Yeah, and the reality is it's not simple.
Yeah, it takes time. It's hard to do. This takes, and you have to understand, this isn't just, we're only talking about FEMA, the National Guard, already centralized, very well organized forces. We aren't even getting into all the charities, the random fucks who are just doing whatever they can to help, the random fucks who are fucking everything up worse. Like, we are not getting into all of that because, like, good God, just think about that.
And
Think
people
about
get
how
mad because,
fucking hard that would be to deal with if you haven't a organized force going into a situation where nothing is organized and if everyone else around you is trying to do random shit and they're not getting with you. Like maybe the charities, charities.
It's chaos.
Yeah, it is chaos, and the chaos slows things down. And I don't think people appreciate how slow it makes it.
And if you get, if you let everyone who wants to donate water in all at the same time and clog up all the highways and airways and everything with people shoving water bottles down, or people using like one giant, boat or machine to get 3 cases of water to one family, it's just like, that's great. But what about the boats we had for food?
And there's been people who have been asking, I've seen comments, people asking like, where can we donate to FEMA? Mm-hmm. Pay your taxes.
Stop bitching and pay your taxes.
Vote for people who will fund FEMA. By the way, Trump...
Vote for people who will fund FEMA,
Trump defunded like $200 million of FEMA's funding when he was in office. I just thought I'd point that out for some reason. Hey, what's your immediate reaction to when someone spits in your drink?
What's my immediate reaction
drink
to
in
if
hand,
someone spits in my drink?
Drink in hand, someone spits in your drink.
Drink is in my hand.
Yeah, drink's in your hand.
And someone else spits in it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it would definitely be situational, but
like let's just
I believe I would.
Okay, you know what? Here's the situation.
Aggressively towards that person.
Here's the situation.
If the situation's
it's
in one hand, I'd smash the glass over their head. If it's another, I would say, "You, sir, let me speak to your manager." Like,
oh, we had a right.
Kind of depends on the situation,
Let me give you the situation.
Okay.
The DoorDash driver has spit into the drink. The reason you know this is because you see that the seal is unsealed, and obviously there's saliva in your drink. You now are confronting the DoorDash man about spitting in your drink. Mm-hmm. What is your immediate reaction?
I throw the cup on the ground and I give him like $5 less than what he's owed.
Oh, there you go. Okay. They're pretty peaceful because there's no way that happens. You're not getting drink on you. Like, you're getting that drink tossed at your head for sure, 100%.
No,
I'm
I
like,
throw it on the ground.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, okay. I thought you meant they're going to throw it at me.
No, you have the drink.
I was about to say, I'm best case scenario, I throw it on the ground and steal part of your money.
You have the calmness.
Yeah, like worst case scenario, that drink is like hitting you in the face. Yeah, like
Yeah.
as I said a second ago.
Minimum is getting your windshield.
Yeah, like I'm throwing the drink.
Anyways, the reason I bring this up is that there's this video
Mm-hmm.
going around. It's kind of hit virality.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this DoorDash driver has spit in this dude's drink, but the drink was for his son. It was like apple juice or something like that, right? And the reason he knows he's spitting it is because apparently he was able to record it via like his like Ring camera, and like his phone recorded like the seal being broke, like the broken seal of the drink. And like the video is like him sitting there holding the cups and the drink, and like he's sitting there. He's like, why would you spit in my drink? This was for my son. And then the DoorDash driver sitting there this whole time. He's just like, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't. And he's like, we tipped you. What was the problem? Like, he's trying to get some kind of response out of this guy, and all the guy can respond. All the guy can do is just go, I'm sorry, sir.
They catch him dead to rights, like he definitely spit in it. Like that's not in question.
The
here.
guy in there said he has him on camera spitting it. The only thing in the footage that I saw was the guy shows the seal broken, and then the footage of him confronting the guy plays.
Okay, so let's assume he did spit in it then.
That's the assumption.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure. So guy's just stammering and...
Yeah, and he's like, I have kids in the car. He's like, well, why would you spit in my kid's drink? And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, there's no way I figure out this dude's spit in my child's drink, that he's not getting every one of these drinks thrown at him.
And why the apple juice? Why like the kid drink? Why the kiddie drink?
Yeah, for sure. Like, what is your deal, guy?
Is he be more likely to get away with it?
And you know what's crazy about that is spitting in someone's drink is not illegal. You won't go to jail for spitting in someone's drink. You might get sued. I'm not saying you won't be sued, but you won't go to jail.
Not saying there's no legal repercussions. Don't take that as a go for it. It's just not something the police can like drag you away.
The police
for.
won't just like drag you to jail. They'll just be like, "What the fuck are you doing? Go home, you dumbass."
Mm-hmm. Chances are, if the police are involved, your manager you might get fired that day.
Yeah.
If it's like provable.
Every time I've always seen the police come and get a coworker of mine, they've always been fired that day.
Yeah. No. Again, as I said a second ago, do not take that as legal advice. There could be legal repercussions that come very quickly.
Yeah, and there might be some karmatic repercussions that come even quicker.
Yeah, you can get your ass kicked. You can lose your job. You can face legal charges after the fact. There's lots of shit that could happen. It's not advisable. Now, mind you, I do know a dude who rubbed his naked testicles against the entire rim of somebody's large popcorn.
Oof.
And I've seen similar acts before.
Oh yeah, I've heard it gets a little hairy in the fast food kitchen.
Don't fuck with the people who handle your food.
Oh, I never do. Straight up. That's two rules in my life that I follow religiously. Is I am always nice to custodial, and I am always nice to people who make my food.
Yes. Always.
I do not fuck with those people.
Nope.
I don't care. I will be nice to them.
Not ever. Do not ever be mean to those people.
In fact, I go out of my way to make those people my friend.
Yep.
And that's good advice to anyone else. Okay, look, this is if anything could reach any of you fuckers, listen up. Lunch ladies, lunch guys, but usually it's ladies. They're your number one priority friendships.
Yeah.
And the reason for this is because sometimes they will either load you up for free, or they will just give you food for free. It's a beautiful friendship.
You want that extra chocolate milk? You best say yes, ma'am, every day.
You better say thank you every time they give you your food, too.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
And sometimes, let me take that trash out for you. No, I got it.
I can put it away myself. You don't have to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Goes a long way. And then the custodial people, you just like having your shit clean. I mean, it's just me. I just like having clean shit.
Yeah.
They're not my number one priority, but they're not my number two, for sure.
I can tell you right now, that dead rat's gonna sit in that vent if you're shitty to the fucking custodial staff. You're gonna be smelling that dead rat for a minute.
I'll tell you this: I like my toilet being clean.
Mm-hmm.
I like a clean toilet. That might just be a weakness of mine. I cannot shit on a dirty toilet, and that's just a fault of mine.
That's fair.
So
the seat's got stuff on it.
I don't want to sit on it.
Like you really like, you can take the toilet paper and then
I hate that method too. I don't want to do that.
Not like line the toilet seat. I can't do that. Like I will like clean the toilet seat. I will scrub it with the toilet paper until it comes back white or off white or whatever color it looks like.
I mean, I'll do that too, but like I don't know. I still have to do the toilet paper lining method. I still can't.
Even after the fact.
Yes.
I feel like I don't think about it as much anymore, but I don't go to a lot of places with like super dirty bathrooms anymore.
It's a move of desperation. And I've learned over the years because I guess as you get older, your stomach gets a little weaker. Your intestinal tract maybe works a little better. I don't know.
You can't eat what you used to eat when you were young.
Yeah. And so you tend to just have to poo more. I have developed
or have less pleasant
a
poops.
model, I guess you could call it, of best places to poo while in public.
Mm-hmm.
Top one, in my opinion, movie theaters on a weekday.
That makes sense.
They're always clean. Always clean. Number 2, Buc-ee's all the time. It doesn't matter when.
When? Who?
Buc-ee's, it doesn't matter when.
The fuck is Buc-ee's?
Buc-ee's is a gas station that is the best gas station in the world. And
never seen one.
It's a cult now, so you should probably worship Buc-ee. In fact,
hell, Buc-ee? Who is Buc-ee? I've never seen a Buc-ee's.
Patrick, play the Buc-ee informational clip. Thank you.
Texas has 79,000 miles of highway, so when the billboard says you can hold it, people really do.
I started my morning from Houston with a thermos of coffee. Wait and hold it until I got to Buc-ee's.
We saw the sign here for 44 miles and waited.
This is why they wait. There's the artwork as you walk in, the dozens of private stalls, and the attendants who never stop cleaning.
I mean, most bathrooms you don't even want to go in, or you go in and you walk right back out because you're not going to go there.
But here?
Absolutely. It's always clean.
Cleanliness is an obsession at this chain of upscale gas stations. Why? Well, leave it to
Beaver Applin.
That explains the store's quirky logo. Beaver follows a simple business model. It's all about the bathrooms.
I've actually had people call me that they wanted our design so they could mimic it in their homes.
At a time when so many businesses are struggling, Buc-ee's is making, well, more than a few bucks. They just opened 4 new stores this year for a total of 30, employing more than 1,000 Texans. And earning the loyalty of far more. On Facebook, Buc-ee's has 75,000 fans. YouTube is full of tributes.
I think Buc-ee's is the most amazing place I've ever been.
Sure, customers also love the gourmet food and the fact that no 18-wheelers are allowed. But at the core, this is a business built purely on porcelain.
Huh.
See the beaver?
I guess. I mean, I'll see it when I listen to this episode later and we come to this point and I go, oh shit, what did Patrick
There's that
get
beaver.
in here?
So Buc-ee's is
and
a
I'm disappointed because Patrick didn't
like I said, it's a
actually
gas
have anything
station chain that's
Like-
kind of like a restaurant.
Like Love's or Sprint Mart?
Yes, but better.
Okay.
It's like a whole grocery store on a gas station.
Okay.
And they have like a whole cafeteria and stuff.
Okay.
And they have a mascot, and they have a guy walking around in a mascot suit, and
the fuck?
yeah, and they have their own merchandise. They're huge, man. Buc-ee's is massive.
It doesn't surprise me, but then also I guess I'm only surprised that I've never heard of it.
It's, I think, relatively new.
And it's a gas station mascot restaurant?
Yeah. You'll see the clip. It'll be okay.
Okay. I mean, I guess I'll see it in like a couple of weeks when
Yeah.
this comes out. I'll see it in like 12 days.
Something like that.
Something like that. I'm not sure. We're a little off in our recording schedule right now, but
Hold on, let me show you a picture of Bucky.
okay, I actually have seen that beaver before. I
Yeah,
have
you
seen
have.
that beaver's face before.
You've seen the Messiah before.
Okay, I don't think I've ever been in one, or if I did, it was just to use the bathroom.
Well, number 2 is Bucky's.
That was a long tangent for number 2 there. So, movie theaters on weekdays.
3, oddly, this is going to be an odd one, but you're just going to have to go with me on this one.
So, hope it doesn't require as long an explanation as Bucky's did.
Rest stop stations.
Fucking, that just means gas station, gas station.
No.
What?
The like state taking care of rest stop stations. They're better than gas stations. They are so
Like
much better
big
than gas
truck
stations.
stops?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Ooh,
it
they're better.
really depends.
They're better than you're giving them credit for.
Well, some are, for sure. Like, some got, like, because they're
Now,
truck
I'm not saying you're not
stops.
going to find your occasional bad one.
So, like, some got, like, showers and everything in them, because they're there for people doing cross-country trips and shit. Like, but to say that truck stops have the cleanest restrooms
Hey, man,
is a very subjective thing to say.
I'm not saying you go to Love's and it's perfectly clean. Now, I'm
Depends
saying
on the Loves, man.
I'm saying you go to Bucky's and it doesn't matter where. I am telling you right now, I am giving you my guarantee. It doesn't matter where you are in Bucky's. Unless someone fucked it up like in the last hour, it's pretty much going to be clean.
Well, other than financially supporting gay hate, Chick-fil-A has incredibly clean bathrooms, service, and food.
Oh yeah, they got good bathrooms? Because like if I'm thinking of
Absolutely,
Chick-fil-A
because when I
bathrooms, I'm
worked
just
there-
like comparing it to McDonald's,
I worked there, I had to go in there like constantly. Like I was getting there with like chemical alcohol wipes and stuff, like wiping up the counter. If there was too much water splashed on the countertops, they got mad. Like I had to have that motherfucker clean.
Okay, I didn't know that about Chick-fil-A. I just figured they'd be like every other fast food place.
Nope, they are not. They are not. I don't want to give them too much credit because I hate the gay hate stuff.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
at the
yeah.
end of the day, I did work there. And the reason there aren't very many bad Chick-fil-A's is because the Chick-fil-A parent company, the one that franchises them out, does not tolerate them. If your Chick-fil-A is dirty and gross and isn't doing well, they
would
just
cut quick.
take away the fucking license. They shut you down. You're either great or perfect. Those are your only two options.
And you don't want to be great.
Yeah, you don't want to be great.
I feel like Chick-fil-A...
You're on their shit list if you're great.
I feel like if you're getting a Chick-fil-A franchise, you've got to be that person in school who had to have
I knew one of the
been
local
the most
owners.
preppiest person. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, absolutely. I knew one of the local owners, and the reason I knew is because the one I worked at, he was fucking there. Okay, not only was he there, but I'd be like making French fries and shit, and he's just like, you need to make French fries quicker. And it's like, you're making too many French fries. They're getting too cold. Make them slower. It's just like he would...
Quicker or slower?
Go faster! Slow down! You're making too many French fries!
Oh, I would not be able to work with this guy.
Oh, yeah. Now, and I could talk about how much of a pain in the ass it was having him stand right behind you.
It would have been a quick like, hey man, you need
But I'll
to
say
go
this:
away.
I have definitely never been able to squeeze $1 million out of a fried chicken sandwich, and he
You know what?
can. So, and that's because he runs the shit out of his own business.
I get it, but at the same time, makes me want to knock his teeth out.
Oh yeah, no, I left. I mean, I stayed for a while, and honestly, I don't think he was really the biggest problem when I left or anything. Just the when he was there, though, it's just like
It's intense.
Yep. Because he would check everything. He wanted to know how his business was being run, and he knew how it was supposed to be run.
I mean, I guess I
And
understand
I respect
to a degree.
that. You know, he was a pain in the ass. I'm just saying he ran a good business.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he can
You
run a
know.
good business. I don't respect being a pain in the ass though. You can.
I mean, I didn't love it,
I don't know.
but at the end of the day,
He makes $1 million. So what can I say?
He lives in a 3-story house, you know, and I don't.
Yeah,
So-
and we're recording on a pool table. So what can we say?
I worry about whether or not my bills will get paid every month. He does not. You know, so take that for what you will.
Yeah.
Fuck me, I guess. I don't have $1 million. Cost of doing business, I guess. But yeah.
Well, that's the show, everybody.
Yep. I'm sorry if you work in fast food.
Please.
Especially if you're LGBTQ plus and you found yourself at Chick-fil-A.
Like poor Al.
Don't worry. They don't know. They can't tell.
Weirdly, so many gay people, so
Work at
many
Chick-fil-A,
alternative gay and alt and gay people love working at Chick-fil-A for whatever reason it is. Alt scene gay people just love Chick-fil-A.
I think it's because a lot of them are good with people. And Chick-fil-A requires a certain amount of like outward facing like peppiness.
Yeah.
And a lot of gay people, not because of like stereotypes, I guess, but just because, you know, they've been having to put on a face that's like quote unquote wholesome all the time.
Yeah.
Especially down here in the South, you know, that they have to like lie about and pretending that you go to church and everything's great and you're definitely not gay, but also appearing as chipper as Chick-fil-A wants you to be.
Yeah.
Is pretty much right up the alley of a lot of Southern gays because they're just like, I was already pretending to be straight and wholesome and shit.
The alt one makes
Not that
me,
you're not wholesome.
The
you're
alt
just
one
not,
makes
you
me
know.
laugh the most because a lot of it, I just want to imagine that the alt kid has probably just made friends with the Christian kid. And they were like, dang it, I need a job.
Yep.
Who has a job? Fuck, Gerald has a job at Chick-fil-A. I bet Gerald can get me a job at Chick-fil-A.
Yep. And then they did.
And then they did. Actually, funnily enough, I've heard working for Chick-fil-A as much as like they don't like the gays and whatnot. I've heard working for Chick-fil-A is pretty sweet. Like they have enough employees that you pretty much get to make your own schedule.
To a certain extent, yes. I didn't find it to be the worst thing in the world. I just don't like food service industry.
No,
as far as fast food is concerned, I will honestly say it's one of the cleanest run places I've ever worked.
I can tell you this: after working in the warehouse, I don't think I could ever work at service again.
Yeah, I think having gone into animal care, I don't think I'm super interested in going back to it either.
I gotta tell you, I think if I was forced back into service, it would it would be a lot of rude gestures and a quick firing. But
Yep. But that's all, folks.
we keep getting right errors so that the card can't handle it. We're pushing her past her limit. We're probably not even hearing this.
We don't know.
We're going plague.
We're going platinum.
We're going platinum. Goodbye.
Next week, our platinum record releases, and maybe
Platinum
Patrick will be back.
Patrick, make a platinum record. Thank you.
I see good things about Hitler also.